Hi, this is Fix My Fibro and my name's Bernadette. So, if the doctors can accept that fibromyalgia is in part a mast cell disorder, so you're constantly getting release into your tissues of inflammatory agents, inflammatory biomedical mediators, cell contents that are nasty, that set off inflammation, set off all sorts of processes in the body. So if you can accept that and know that there's so much localized inflammation that isn't getting picked up from a blood test, and then if you also accept what I'm saying about this purine disorder, and I'll go into that purine disorder and why I'll explain why it's affecting the receptors, but it's also got an immunological basis. If you understand that, you can, and then we're getting gouty symptoms from that part of the illness. It's impossible to go and exercise when you're having severe chronic gouty attacks every single day because of what you're eating, because you're eating purines in the diet of a medium to a high concentration, and they are then blocking up your receptors because I believe we have autoantibodies to our purines. The difference of going on a low purine diet, which I did back in 2007, was like night and day. I went back to more energy than I'd had since my illness started, and then I resumed full-time work, and I have been working since then. So it's huge, but because the doctors aren't diagnosing you, and this purine mediated part of the illness is not characterized. I'm the only one talking about it as a fibromyalgia sufferer and a scientist, but it's life-changing. I recently met a girl before Christmas who is the niece of a work friend, and her mum works in diagnostic pathology, where you get your bloods taken and everything. And so they know a bit about medicine, doctors, how the system works. So frustrated because she's been ill for 2 years, just not getting answers, chronically ill, chronic pain. I met with her, and just from talking to her and understanding her symptoms, because every symptom means something. If you don't think every symptom means something, you don't understand fibromyalgia or any medical condition. No symptom happens randomly. No symptom happens for no reason. Every symptom tells me what's going on, because over the years, when I figured out one part of fibromyalgia, I then still have other symptoms, and I go, all right, there's something else going on. Then I'd figure out that part, and then I go, oh, I've still got some other symptoms, and I go, oh, well, that's what that is, and then this is what this is. And suddenly you've got this full picture based on your symptoms, what is causing it. It's complex. It's taken me 2 decades because there are 200 symptoms plus, but until you break down the illness and until I explain it to you in those levels, so you won't understand it in total. So going back to this young girl who'd had fibromyalgia 2 years, just from her symptoms, I could figure out that her symptoms were predominantly the purine part of the illness, where she was ingesting too many purines, and they were causing her body to shut down, severe fatigue, like where you shut down after a meal, and then having pains. She, after changing her diet and after trialing it for a little while, we caught up for a follow-up meeting. She asked me to have a catch-up. She actually said, it's amazing. I actually get up now before my alarm goes off in the morning and I jump out of bed, Mum thinks there's something wrong. Like, why are you out of bed? Is something wrong? And she's like, no, I feel great. I've woken up refreshed. When was the last time you woke up refreshed? Probably not in a long time. And it's because you're poisoning yourself with purines. And I'll explain all about the purines in so much more detail, but these purines are a critical part to the presentation of fibromyalgia. And you need to understand more about that part of the illness, and then we can explain the complexity of the mast cell activation syndrome and all the problems as to why doctors aren't diagnosing you and treating you for the total condition.